So dope. Oh,
outdated,
yeah.
he
I've
says.
got white socks.
AKA is
Oh, man.
South Africa. Parliament is
No question, no comment.
okay,
No
and then
comment.
Beyonce or Lady Gaga.
Beyonce.
Definitely, we agree
She's
on
the
that.
closest thing to Michael Jackson.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we agree on that.
absolutely.
Yeah.
That was great. Thanks so much
Thank
for
you.
that. I appreciate it.
One of those questions
Good luck.
was hectic.
Good luck with everything. eh?
Yeah. Can you ask me that question again?
Which one?
Okay, no.
AKA?
No, let me do that.
I can say
I
it
was
again. AKA?
Bye. See you at Fill Up FMB Stadium. Get your tickets. 2nd of December. We're 2 days away.
So if you have no idea what the definition of beef is, you must be living in a cave. Besides the actual meaning of beef being the flesh of a cow, there's also a vital slang word which has really picked up use over the years. And according to Urban Dictionary, to have beef is to have a grudge or start one with another person. So what's the significance of beefing? Well, the only reason I can think of such an activity is to do with the word relevance, also criminally known as, and I really hate this word, clout chasing. I mean, what else could be the main reason between two grown men arguing like teenagers over social media? It gets people talking about them. By doing this, they stray further away from being identified as irrelevant, which every artist aspires to never be associated with such a mortifying word. This relevancy gives these artists a lot of benefits, such as gaining new fans, using the publicity as a marketing ploy to boost sales, or hype upcoming music releases. But in some cases, they really be up on that straight up goon shit and really be wanting all the smoke with their ops. And while beefing in hip hop isn't a new thing, hip hop beefs have been a mainstay in the rap community. Whether it was the highly entertaining beef between Toomey and Ricky Rick in 2015 over Ricky's departure from Motive Records, which gifted us with Cassper Nyovest's banger of a song, Lempitse, which Ricky dropped the famous bar, "What happened to you? I gave you your money. I thought we were through." Yikes. Other well-documented beefs include the infamous beefs between South Africa's very own version of Soulja Boy, MT the Hustler, and his many ops, such as his former label mates A. Reese, Flame, and even Cassper himself. We even have a new beef occurring in the new game between the Big Hash and the Hood Pharmacist, aka J Marley. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm keen on naming this beef something like the Battle of the Baby Faces. Now, I could go through a whole list of beefs that have occurred, but none of them bear any significance or importance than this beef between the two hip-hop giants, Super Mega and King Mufasa. Alright, so Super Mega was born Keelan Jared Forbes on the 28th of January 1988 to a loving home in the well-known Cape Flats, Mitchell's Plain. He was the eldest between two with a younger brother who's 5 years younger than him. Now in this stage of his life is where he grew up in poverty, but after 7 years his mother decided it was time to move on to Jozi in 1995, where he attended Greenside Primary in Randburg. And later on, he was enrolled at St. John's College, a well-established private institute which boasts the highest level of education in the entire country. This school was what I believe could have been the gateway into a music career for the young MC, because this is where he'd go on to form the once known group Entity, which would rock the hip hop underground scene. Now, Entity was a group that consisted of AKA's two good mates, known as Vice Versa and Greyhound. This group would continue to make music, dropping some vintage songs such as First Gear and one of my faves, Touch and Go, which actually really displays how skilled AKA was back in his early days. The group even went on to get nominated for the Best African Hip Hop category at the Kora Awards. But eventually, reality began to kick in as the group finally cut ties and disbanded in 2006, with Vice Versa and Greyhound pursuing their studies at high levels. For the young MC, however, this just fueled his passion to focus harder on his craft, and he decided to continue his solo career. Now this was a bold move back in his time, especially considering he had attended a top private institution and his family had obviously expected him to pursue a career that wasn't as risky as the music industry. But he eventually sat them down and thanked them for his schooling and explained how he wanted to pursue a career in music. Super Mega embarked on a journey of mastering his skills by studying sound engineering, which led him to co-founding the production collective known as the Ivy League, with 2 other members that work for artists like Pro Kid, JR, and Kulichana. In 2009, he released his songs I Do, Mistakes, and My Walk. By 2010, he teamed up with Kulichana to release their song I Want It. By August 2011, aka had enough clout to release his sophomore debut album, Alter Ego, which gifted us with classics like I Want It All with Cooley and Pro, Bang with Cooley Again, All I Know, and of course his first major banger, Victory Lap. Heck, this album even featured a skit by well-known joke recycler Loiso Gola, and this project garnered so much success. It was certified gold and picked up multiple awards at the Metro FM Awards, winning Best Hip Hop Album and Best Male Artist at the South African Music Awards in 2012. Now, finally, after years of hard work and grind, aka was finally reaping his rewards and was hungry for more, releasing arguably one of the best albums in SA hip hop history, Levels. This album was packed with a collection of the best music SA had heard in a long time, with a tracklist consisting of bangers like Jealousy, Control, Sim Dope, Run Josie featuring KO, Sunshine featuring J Something, All Eyes on Me featuring Deleuze, JR, and another one of AKA's Ops, Burna Boy. But the song that stood out the most was the song Congratulate, which is the song that I'd basically say is the main instigator of this whole beef. However, that album is still so well received, it even went double platinum by 2018. And you have to give it to AKA. This album was so well produced and constructed and was so diverse with different tunes, sounds and melodies that AKA had put together. There was like an album no one had ever heard within one of its local talents in the hip hop scene for a long time.
Yeah, probably I met at the barber now, yeah? Yeah, man, I smacked that song Composure, man. Composure. Yeah, man, fuck Cassper.
In the other corner, we have Cassper Nyovest. Now, Pumba was born Rifule Maile Pulo on the 16th of December 1919 in Mahikeng of the Northwest Province. He grew up with 2 other siblings, his sister Tsolofelo Pulo and his late brother Kotso, who sadly passed away. Cassper had always been in the arts of hip hop and started rapping by the young age of 12 while he attended Soul Blachi Secondary School. 2004, Nyovest had started a hip hop collective known as Childhood Gangster with his mates, but eventually left the group to join another group, Slow Motion, with 8 other members before leaving that group as well. Unfortunately, by 2006, he had flunked his 10th grade exams. He ended up packing his things and moving to his grandmother's in Potchefstroom to finish his studies in 2007. However, Nyovest realized the life of books was not meant for him, and he dropped out of high school at the ripe age of 16 and went chasing his solo career dream in Johannesburg, where he signed with the Motswako record label Impact Sounds. But this eventually fell short because of Nyovest's fallout with his associates over their creative differences, and Nyovest was left heading back home. Fortunately, Nyovest never gave up and he decided to start his own record label, Family Tree Records, which caught the eye of the hip hop legend himself, Double HP, and even gave him an opportunity by offering a young ambitious Cassper a spot on his song Wamotseba Mto, which was the boost in Cassper's career, because I mean, everyone needs that clout, right? Notably, throughout his career until this point, Nyovest had actually been going by the name Young Gun, but changed his name while hanging with Double HP because of his love for the famous friendly animated ghost, Cassper, the Friendly Ghost. By working hard and boosting his wave, he finally released his major debut single featuring fellow artist aka Smart Mampara, OK Malim Cool Cat, on the banger of a song Gusheshe in 2013. This song became an overnight success and the whole of SA was kept anticipating what else this young MC had in store. By 2014, he finally established his label and released his song Doc Shebeleza, taking inspiration from the famous Kwaito star. The whole Mzansi was bumping this anthem and was the lead single to his debut sophomore album, Tsolofelo, which was a cute gesture naming his album after his sister because she was the one who gave him 50 rand for a taxi to Joburg just to pursue his music career. This album was a major success and proved to the nation that Cassper Nyovest was headed for greatness in the entertainment industry. I mean, this album was peaking number 1 on iTunes SA album for at least 2 months, and even released a platinum edition featuring heavy-hitting artists like Wizkid, Anati, and DJ Drama.
Alright, so you're a peaceful sort of guy. You don't like
I am a peaceful sort of guy, but you know, when it's time to get dirty, it's time to get dirty.
Okay.
There's a time and a place for everything.
I totally hear.
Now, keep in mind, this was all friendly banter between the two artists. AKA had actually admitted in past interviews that they were in fact friends and had discovered Cassper through YFM's Hot 99 list and heard his music, and Cassper even spent lunch together at AKA's house, claiming that the beef really got real once Cassper started gaining more attention, as this was the period that AKA was considered the next best thing. But that was all to change as the year 2014 hit. So this build-up of the whole saga is reported to have begun in 2014, once both artists had established themselves and made their names known in the hip-hop community, with both artists releasing 2 significant songs, being AKA's Congratulate and Cassper's Dokshe Beleza. And the main discussion in this period of time was which was the hottest song. Now Cassper decided to claim the spot as his own, being the biggest song in Mzansi, to which Super Mega responded via a now deleted tweet saying, "There's a rapper running around saying he's got the biggest song in the country," even continuing to challenge his fans to find his song on the iTunes Top 100, which Congratulate was actually number 1 on the time. But to Cassper's defense, Dokshe Beleza had his own bragging rights, as it had been freely downloaded over 100,000 times over the site data file host. This led to a whole host of subtweets between the two, until Cassper dropped his classic banger, Bumakim, produced by Brian Soko, and this song dropped some of the best subliminal wordplay, really dropping his famous line, "I'm AKA's favorite rapper, I guess I made it on Forbes' list." Obviously, AKA wouldn't let this slide, and dropped his project Levels with subliminal disses on tracks like Sim Dope, with verses like, "They pull my name out the envelope, you should fuck with the winners. You got some buzz from your singles, but that's just some luck for beginners." Yikes. This beef has started to pick up, with Cassper trying to distance himself from the whole situation due to him feeling that the industry favoured AKA, and this was evident by how Cassper was always on social media trying to distance himself and clarify himself, making AKA look like a villain. Another instance of this beef was in the year 2014, when both artists were booked to headline different events in the mother city at the same day, same time. Nah, I mean, as weird as it is, other rappers like Slick and Kulichana had chimed in saying this whole beef was planned. But hey man, that's how hip hop works. It was the 15th of August 2014, where both artists were scheduled to perform on SABC1's late night music show Live Amp, where things took a dark, twisted turn, as Cassper revealed that one of AKA's goons, known as Prince Nyemba, had pulled a gun on Cassper at point blank range when attempting to head into the makeup room. It is also alleged that AKA assaulted Nyovest's road manager. This apparently put Cassper off performing, and he even described how traumatic the experience was for him as he walked all the way back home from this incident. To be fair, I give applause to Nyovest, as the man had grown up in an environment surrounded by crime, and he even stated that this was not the first time having a gun pointed directly at him, and that he wasn't willing on going back into that lifestyle and would have just rather stuck to focusing on his music. Prince Nyemba, however, denied this incident ever happened, and the case was dropped. But this moment alone was the historic moment that just proved how real and dangerous this beef between the two were becoming. Eventually, Cassper attempted so hard to move on from this incident that by December of the same year, he had wished on doing a collaboration, labeling it #WeThePowerCircle, with both AKA and KO, who at the time were known as the top 3 artists in SA according to MTV Base. But to no surprise, aka responded with a tweet reiterating his lines from his joint Run Josie, which KO famously rapped, "What's going on with these amateurs over the internet posting some messages?" Basically confirming how he had no plans on ending the beef, and by the time the SA Hip Hop Awards had rolled around is when it was evident how both sides' attitudes towards each other were, as the infamous clip of aka and Nyovest did its rounds of aka challenging Cassper, while Nyovest tries his best to ignore Super Mega. aka even posted the clip on his social media captioning it, "Niggas talk shit about you all year, then can't say a word to you when there's 2 seats away." And another stating, "I don't talk shit on records or interviews, I'll do it to your face." Fortunately, by Christmas Eve, aka posted a pic of both him and Nyovest, stating how the beef was squashed, and this was a proud moment in SA history, as we had finally seen 2 African giants coming together and settling their differences to move forward. Oh, how they fooled us. All was well in 2015 with the 2 artists continuing to do what they do best, and that was to entertain. But suddenly, the MTV Africa Music Awards rolled into Durban July, and oh boy were we not prepared for this. It had been established that TV personality and rapper Boity Tulo was now in a relationship with Cassper, and she was hired to host the Mama Award, to which Cassper won the Best Hip Hop Award. However, the category for Best Collaboration hilariously went out to AKA's All Eyes on Me, which looked like Boity found it hard to even blurt out his name, to which he announced to the viewers how Cassper wins everything anyway, and awkwardly stepping away from the rapper when he came to collect his awards. Like, I get what you're doing, Boity, standing up for your man, but come on, have some professionalism instead of joining in on this teenage drama. But hey, what can I say? Clout can drive anyone to do ridiculous things. The date was the 7th of August, and who can forget the hilarious tweet by Cassper at 4 AM claiming that aka had put the hands on him in a club in Sandton, to which aka obviously denied and claiming how he does not condone violence. But then for some reason he later admitted slapping Nyovest, but later deleted the tweet, as I'm sure his management team must have forced him to. This confrontation led up to nothing serious, as nothing much came out of it. But hey, that tweet was funny at the time. You guys had to have remembered that shit.
They call me Shepherdessa. I'm Shepherdessa. I'm Shepherdessa. Everybody good. Shepherd, let's go.
These 2 ended up going to the good old fashioned diss tracks, with aka releasing Composure with his famous lines, "My niggas in position when they ring the bell, they're gonna get your ponytail like a holy grail. That's the problem with the new school cats. Took your whole style from my loom cool cat. I got my hands in the dirt. Such a pity you can't dance on a verse," was the famous bars aka dropped on his well-known song Composure, which released in September, airing out all his anger on other rap beefs he had at the time with Anati, Ricky Rick, and his most unusual op, Ifani. And this song was supported by one of the most simplest yet catchy beats, which is a highly recognizable Anywhere in Mzansi. I mean, it's one of those bangers that still play on in the clubs, and everyone has a great time rapping along to it. But only 2 weeks later, Cassper had responded to aka on a good old fashioned diss track of his own, Dust to Dust, personally exposing aka having a ghostwriter on his famous song Congratulations. He questions his friendship with AKA's sidekick Deleuze, claims how AKA had been accepting business offers that Cassper had denied, including the one Hunter's ad AKA featured on. He even went as far as to console his ex-wife DJ Zintle about their fallout in their relationship, and bizarrely included how AKA was even kicked out of a townhouse owned by Oskido and finally how AKA was a victim to cocaine use. The year was 2016 and finally we saw peace. 2016 saw the two rappers take a step back from their beef and to actually focus on their music and business ventures. Everything was relatively quiet and people taking light jabs at the past years of heated beef between the two artists, even featuring a little skit on SABC One show, Says Topla, which a hilarious skit was made parodying the two artists and describing really how childish the two had been acting in the past. Obviously, there were the slight jabs at each other's public image, like the time AKA tweeted if it looks stupid to stand on burning books, referring to Cassper's War Ready music video, as this was the time universities were going through their Fees Must Fall protests. But by the time it was June, it was revealed that the two had been hanging together in California, LA, and AKA even linked up with Sway Calloway to discuss the beef, and now they had discussed their differences on the flight they were both headed onto an event. And by October, most of 2017 was another calm and quiet year when referring to the beef with the two artists just releasing more music. Things were going well for both artists, but Nyovest was having the more exciting year as he famously attempted to headline and successfully fill up the FAB Stadium, which can host up to 94,000 fans. Now this was a huge deal for Nyovest, even dropping the lines, "Only my second album and I'm about to fill up the dome. Niggas out here trying to fight me and niggas should be taking notes. Hey nigga, I done went platinum before you niggas went gold." This was an extremely hard task for Cassper's team, and he even admitted himself the struggle he went through to get this done. He had issues finding sponsors, his finances to pull this off was struggling, but most importantly, his ticket sales weren't looking like they were reaching the target, adding more pressure on the staff. To make the situation worse, his nemesis cheekily offered assistance to Nyovest that he perform at the concert for 1 million rand. Like damn, I know how this beef works, but this is some of the pettiest nonsense I had witnessed. Nyovest, however, calmly responded over Twitter telling Super Mega to just buy a ticket pool. Fortunately, Nyovest's hard work and dedication to achieving his dream of actually filling the biggest stadium in Mzansi, he pulled it off, which is arguably one of the greatest achievements any rapper, actually scrapped that, any entertainer had done in Mzansi, even outselling international A-list stars. Even AKA couldn't help but show admiration for his ops success when speaking to Chisa Live, stating, and I quote, "There's a moment for him to bask in. It is his moment." Even going as far as to tweet an image of Nyovest in front of the thousands of fans with the caption, "Powerful." Okay, so by 2018, AKA started the year off firing shots at the whole hip-hop industry on his song Star Signs, featuring the talented Stogie T, with AKA claiming in his song that many rappers in the Mzansi hip-hop scene have been sounding too American in their music, dropping lines, "Mega, you old school now, but how you still so relevant in an era when niggas sound so American? No pride in their own heritage, whole vibe so negative. Ain't nobody going to remember them." But what was also seen as an obvious diss towards Cassper was Stogie T's verse when he dropped the bars, "Can't Get Mufasa'd" by Antelope. Another incident happened when fellow rapper Altido, who has been well respected in the hip hop community, had just come up with a great idea that would unite most rappers and see them partaking in a 5-on-5 soccer match. Cassper, to everyone's surprise, seemed keen on the idea, even tweeting at Altido what the rules were and what was on the line, questioning that if Altido's side were to lose, he could choose when they dropped their collab. Hilariously, Altito responded by tweeting that if his team had to win the game, Cassper would have to make up and be friends with AKA, even adding that he couldn't resist. I mean, who would? Unfortunately, to everyone's disappointment, Nyovest declined, saying it never happened, and to come up with a new bet. Altito seemed to take friendly jabs at Nyovest with this hilarious tweet about Nyovest seeming to always be running away from making peace with rappers. On the 15th of June 2018, AKA dropped his long-anticipated album since Levels, Touch My Blood, which included the songs like Beyonce, Star Signs, and the well-known banger Fella in Versace. And the album even went certified gold by the 25th of June, and then certified platinum by the 9th of November, all in that same year. However, over the weekend of AKA's celebratory Touch My Blood after party, things reportedly went south when Cassper and his entourage pulled up to the event. Not much is actually reported on what really happened on the night, but Cassper was eager to air out the drama over Twitter when one Twitter user asked Cassper if he'd been provoked over the weekend, to which he replied saying AKA did try provoking Cassper, but Nyovest claims he was the bigger man by walking away, and even claiming he even had it on video because of how sure he knew AKA would deny it all. Obviously AKA was getting frustrated by how Cassper always had to play victim when the two would go at each other, so he questioned Nyovest why he even attended the party, knowing he would stir some kind of controversy and play the victim when things went sour. Unfortunately, Nyovest was having none of it, even continuing to tweet his positivity of messages of how he wants no part of negativity in his life and career, and how he was focused on his family and his own self-interest instead of getting tangled in all the beefs in his life. If you hadn't known already, Nyovest was named as an ambassador for the world-famous vodka brand Ciroc, which is seen as one of the most premium bottles of vodka with what I think is the best looking liquor bottles I've ever seen. On the other hand though, AKA was more than just an ambassador for the local vodka brand Cruise, and as one of those deals where he sees 50% of every bottle of Cruise sold heads to his pocket, which is by far the better deal between the two artists. Now, if you didn't know by now as well, the world famous rapper Puff Daddy, aka P Diddy or just Diddy, owns the same type of deal as AKA, but for the Ciroc vodka brand, where he also receives a large portion of money from the sales of every bottle sold. Unfortunately, Cassper got handed the biggest L when he had previously dropped the song Monate Polai, where he disses AKA's watermelon flavored vodka by saying, "We don't want watermelons." In a turn of events, Diddy famously announced his new flavor of watermelon flavored Ciroc in a video which featured him getting out of bed to a field of watermelon trees and DJ Khaled announcing a new flavor alert, watermelon. Immediately people started laughing in Nyovest, handing him an L for the biggest backfire we had seen between the two, with Nyovest even tweeting, "We don't want that thing here bro, what's happening?" That's when AKA took advantage of the situation by tweeting a string of tweets like the watermelon emoji, and even starting a hashtag trend, hashtag everybody loves watermelon, and even tweeting at Diddy himself that he should visit SA because everyone had love for the fruit and how Diddy was an inspiration to the rapper. And I'm not gonna lie, the memes out of this situation were hilarious. Fortunately, to Cassper's delight, Diageo had confirmed that the Ciroc watermelon flavor would not be coming to Mzansi anyway, but the beef and all was a fun one to follow over a lousy vodka flavor which divided the nation on which was the better vodka brand.
I'm not working today, it's Sunday. I'm working out. I'm so focused. I'm one of the greatest. Enough is enough. This is unbelievable. It's Sunday, leave me alone. I know I ain't tripping. New flavor alert.
Things sparked up between the two again when promising female MC, Rouge, took it upon herself to claim that she was the best female rapper in the game, to which AKA excitedly agreed to her tweet, saying how other up-and-coming rappers should stray from pretending to be buddies with competitors and should rather focus on themselves as an artist, and even adding fuel to the fire by giving advice to aspiring rappers that having a beef with another artist will skyrocket your career, which to his point, it is very true in recent times. I won't deny the statement by him at all. However, Cassper did not agree with the statement at all by tweeting how bad of advice this was from AKA, and he fired Super Mega, tweeting how a grown man advising women to fight for profit, 2019, can you end already? With a further tweet explaining his view about how there's already enough negativity happening and artists should rather focus on being an example to others. This was obviously aimed at AKA and his previous advice, and AKA's fans came to his aid, trying to call out Cassper Nyovest, responding hilariously at salty AKA fans by asking them if they had bought tickets for his upcoming #FillUpRoyalBafokeng concert, which was a major flex on his head.
I got the remedy. Okay, let me tell you why. Let me tell you why radio is not playing your shit. It's cause your shit doesn't bang, bro. Okay? You're not making hot shit. That's why the radio isn't playing you. It's that simple. Make hot shit and you will get airplay. The reason you're not getting airplay is cause your shit is not dope. That's it.
Finally, we arrive in the present year, where we've highlighted the best moments of these two in the past 6 years, which have seen these two trade blows of the most childish reasons. The beef started as usual with a viral clip which saw AKA performing at a show in Rustenburg and fail at a crowdsurfing attempt, which saw him drown to a pit of confused fans. AKA, however, championed through the performance, even continuing to perform while lying on the floor. To make matters even funnier, AKA himself made fun of himself in viral tweets going on to explain how he did try a second attempt, which turned out successful, and how he'd be willing to try it again. However, Mr. Nyovest could not resist the urge to use this funny clip to aim shots at Super Mega, in a response to DJ Maporisa tweet saying how he'd like to crowd surf while playing amapiano, to which Cassper replied by saying Maporisa should leave the act of stage diving to hip-hop artists, but also adding that he knows his own fans would catch him, but not sure about other artists' fans doing the same. It was a sharp little dig at AKA. I still gotta run that video back of AKA's fail though, super hilarious. Eventually, rumours had begun to fly around by the end of March that a boxing match was set to see the two celebs fight it out in the ring. This was actually confirmed when AKA had started calling out Nyovest, and Nyovest had suggested that the two settle this in a match as a way to help charity organisations through ticket sales being donated towards the charity. At the time, this seemed like a fun and exciting idea, but Super Mega had taken it a step too far when his tweets towards Nyovest seemed to appear more aggressive and unnecessary. AKA had started insulting Cassper's parents for allowing the rapper to drop out of high school, how his father was considered a deadbeat father, calling Cassper homophobic slurs like Morphe, and challenging the rapper to sign the papers. The guy even insulted Nyovest with slurs like "Your master poos" and even told his entire family to suck his dick. Yikes! According to AKA, this fight would have been so big that both rappers would have at least seen at least 5 to 8 million rand each, and how a deal between the EFC and Supersport was in the works to see a 10-round fight happen between the two artists. He even stated, "I've heard him before, I will hurt him again, this time on Supersport. While my vodka ad plays between rounds, now's the time for him to sign the papers and you can all watch me F him up in front of his family." It seems like Super Mega was 100% serious about this, even tweeting a video of him in the gym working out and showing off his hands. Even boxing promoter Tsele Kometi was keen to see an event this huge be brought to reality, but the BSA CEO Tsolofelo Lejaka wasn't all too keen on making it happen, as the two rappers had no boxing experience at all, so it would prove difficult task as to where to start licensing them. And even if the fight was looking like it could happen, its main contender Cassper was not interested at all once AKA had started insulting his family, claiming how disgusted he was by AKA and stating how he'd never insult another man's family because he wasn't raised like that, claiming that there was a line that was crossed by Super Mega and that he was now officially done with the rapper for life, and that was it. The fight was confirmed that it was never going to happen between the two. In a later interview with AKA, he was questioned if in fact the beef between the two had started because of AKA insulting Cassper's mother, to which he admitted that he did insult her by saying "Yo massa puss," and how he did it because of how Nyovest was a proper C word back then. A fan of AKA's then tweeted out at the Star asking if AKA regretted his actions at all, to which AKA responded with a little bit. And finally, there you have it. After 6 long years of continuous jabs between these two colossal artists, seeing the two insult each other verbally, over social media, throughout their songs, and even getting violent at one point, we've seen how these two having grown to become the biggest artists in Africa. Now, does this beef play a vital role in both these artists' success? Of course it does. Like I said in the beginning, beef makes artists relevant. I actually have a feeling that these two may have a hatred for each other in the public eye, but without each other, they wouldn't have reached their potentials and wouldn't have been able to survive without each other. It reminds me of that scene in The Dark Knight Rises when the Batman asks Joker why he wants to kill him, to which the Joker responds by saying he has no thought of killing him, and how in fact he had no idea how he'd live without the Dark Knight.
I mean, just look at what both artists have achieved throughout their careers. Nyovest, in his career, has grabbed 35 awards, including 3 Summer Awards, 2 MTV AMA Awards, and multiple Metro FM Awards. He has filled up a 90,000-seater venue and headlined the concert with no other local artist being able to boast an achievement like this. He has performed overseas at shows like the UK, and his net worth is estimated to be around 56 million rand. And the man's car collection is insane, boasting 2 Bentleys, and the man resides in a beautiful mansion in Kailami. This man is blessed, but we gotta give props to him. He worked hard to get to this point in his life, and I hope he keeps moving up in life. AKA, on the other hand, has 15 awards to his name, which proves how talented of an artist he is with his share of Summer MTV Awards and his share of Metro FM Awards. He has also been able to perform overseas, and he has a net worth of an estimated 224 million rand, which, if is true, is super incredible, and the man is really making it out there. However, at the end of the day, and for what I really care about between these two artists, is not the beef they entertain or the alcohol they promote, but in fact the music they provide for us listeners, which has never disappointed me. I've had the privilege to witness these two giants perform live in front of me on the biggest stage in Cape Town, Rocking the Daisies, with AKA performing at Daisies 2016 and Cassper performing the next year. And I really can't tell you which artist came out on top, because both artists bring out different sides of the crowd, with AKA hyping thousands with his melodies of autotune and over diverse beats, and Cassper spitting hard bars over a bumping Kwaito beat. I wish the best for these two artists and hope more great music comes out of the two and less beef between the two giants we have representing our beautiful nation.